Yeah, so I guess I want to start this off by saying I don't even believe those numbers. I think it's higher because it's people that I've never done anything like that. They don't have my opinion in here. And it's a lot of people like me who haven't voted yet. So how would they say where I haven't taken any survey or to say where I stand? And it's a lot of people just like that. So this ain't true. It's way more people that don't like her. For real. It's way more people that don't like her. But anyways, she pulled up. So don't let me hold you up because she'd already held you up this
Madam
long.
Vice President, thank you for the time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at this election, and specifically the influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want
What do you mean you agree?
have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right now,
just a number. Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point.
The point is answering the question. I just asked you a direct question that involves numbers. Put a number on it. 5 million, 6 million, 2 million, 1 million, 500,000, 500 million. How much? Give a number. This is a number answer, which means we don't want the word salad. We want numbers. Give me a number. That's all I want.
Okay, the point is
that
we have a broken immigration system
but how
that
much
needs to be repaired.
So how much broken? Put a number on how broken it is.
Your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have a.
You're not finished, but you're not started either. Put a number on it. All I asked you for is a number, and you're talking about you ain't finished. All I needed was a number.
It's a rough estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So looking back.
Stop, so I can post this on TikTok. Wait a minute. All y'all talking about what black men not doing and how all y'all doing all these posts about how you're not protected and every so often this is happening to a woman. Y'all don't care unless you can try to paint it something about black men or something. It's millions and millions of immigrants, illegal people walking around and they're committing crimes. Oh, y'all want to hear about another one? Yeah, it was a 14-year-old little girl who got SA'd and unalived by one of these people. While y'all want to sit and talk about what black men, we're going to play some videos after this. While y'all want to sit and talk about what black men not doing, well, let's talk about what immigrant men is doing. They are part of the problem. They are violent. And y'all want our protection? Get these immigrants out of the country. She can't even answer the question about them. And I keep telling y'all, immigrant is the new black. Immigrant is the new black. Just like how they in the 60s, y'all said the party switched in the 60s. They switched back. The immigrant is the new black. So now they bringing in all these new people to get new votes like they did with the niggas in the 60s. Y'all gonna catch up sooner or later. It might take 40 years, but you're gonna catch up.
Do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer Community.
Let me remind y'all that we're in a migrant crisis, and Donald Trump tried to build a wall to stop people from getting in, and they said we didn't have the cheese. He's a xenophobe. He just hates Mexican people, hates other countries, hates families, wants to separate families from the border, and now we have a crisis on our hands. Let's just remind each other of that. But, go ahead.
Act The first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called the U.S.
It didn't work.
Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the... Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please?
But
you have to let me finish,
You
please.
had the White House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and they didn't bring up that
responding.
bill.
Nobody wants your word salad. You're sitting in somebody that's not going to eat your salad. You've been in front of these people who are going to let you talk and not answer the question. Now you have to answer. We're not sitting here with all this nonsense. You ask you a question, I'll answer it.
To the point you're raising, okay. And I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
Get there.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings.
See, I guess it's a lot of people who don't understand why she's crashing and burning. So let me give y'all an example of why. It's because she's running with the person who has the lowest approval rating in the history of modern presidency, and she in any way does not want to separate herself from him. She won't say he did anything wrong. She won't do that. That's the same thing as me, right? Meeting you and hearing about your abusive, jealous ex, and then me saying, I'm going to be just like him. I wouldn't have done anything different than what he did. It's ridiculous. And it's the person that y'all want to vote for, okay?
With points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress.
Here she goes with this.
To actually strengthen the border.
And Donald Trump killed the bill. This is what she's about to say. Don't tell me Donald Trump killed the bill. You better not say this part.
Border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the Attorney General, former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and...
Why do you keep saying this over and over? We know you've done all this stuff. What does this have to do with the question?
Human beings. And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
Six Democrats voted against that bill.
Learned about that bill and told them to kill it.
I'm glad you let her say this dumb crap once again, so I can expose her for it. If Donald Trump has so much power to where all of these people who are in office, he's not in office at this time. You are in office, and you're trying to tell me somebody that's not in office has the power to get a bill shut down more than the president and the vice president. You're telling me that a guy, just some person named Donald, has more power than the president and the vice president. But a bill, you said some of the most conservative members of Congress, all y'all worked together to get this bill, and he made one call like, kill it? Maybe you should just get out of his way and let him be the president, because you don't got no pull, or you're lying. And my next response to that would be, how long ago was that? What did you do in response to that? If I'm the president and you doing stuff like that, like, oh, Donald Trump got the bill killed, I'll show him we about to do an executive order and get this bill signed. You're the president and vice. What is wrong with you? Stop saying Donald Trump killed the bill when you're the vice president and he's the president. If you call and get a bill killed that I got online, okay, now who did he call? He called in who? All right, now next time y'all not being part of the decision, and we still gonna get it done. What are y'all talking about? Why do y'all keep letting her tell this lie? I don't think he's gonna let her tell the lie though, so I'm gonna just unpause it. But I had to go off myself. I don't care what he say. It's ridiculous. Why does she keep telling this same lie? Donald Trump got the bill killed. It don't make no sense for him to have to get the bill killed. How did he have the pull to get some bills killed? You're foolish.
Because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election,
he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing it. Do y'all hear this? This is the vice president of the United States saying Donald Trump wanted to run on a problem that they're in charge of. Immigration is to run the problem on. He's not the president. I don't know. Like, she's stupid, but what she does great is convince people that Donald Trump's the president right now. Like, they be acting like he's in office. You've been there for 3.5 years. Why are you talking about what he did? What did you not do? You are, it's irritating how dumb she is. It's like trying to teach a kid, and the learning is right there, but they won't. She's irritating.
This is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue.
That's what you're doing.
I hear you.
But actually is focused on fixing it.
6 Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration.
Do y'all care? I'm gonna post this on TikTok. Maybe it's because maybe it's a racial thing. But this is what's going on because of her policies. Y'all talk about women. Do they got to be black? I mean, what? I don't know. But these people, because of their, I'm going to tell you what really happened. What really actually happened is they were being immature. And anything Trump wanted to do, they were just against it. That's how inflation happened. Oh, he's giving all these billionaires these cuts, so we're going to just cut them. And then it was like, okay, you act like we're going to suffer. Everybody else is going to suffer before we do, stupid. And then prices went up, all because they wanted to play games to try to just fight Trump. And here's the thing about Trump. He didn't do that when he got in office. They could have did that with Obamacare. He said it like, yo, I could have cut that, but I couldn't have did it. Like, it was no other option to other than that. So I'm gonna just add my little spin on it, but keep it though. They didn't want to be smart enough to keep the stuff that you're supposed to keep. They wanted to take it all away, and they brought this in. It should have been a wall, but they said they didn't have the money. But now they have the money to give the people who coming in. Y'all seen the receipts. But that has nothing to do with the crimes being committed by these people. Y'all didn't want to hear about the cats and dogs. But what about the women? Y'all want to hear about women? Come on, man.
Well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe those families
ain't no
really, I think
an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that.
We know that.
There's no question about that.
We know.
And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced.
Can you imagine being the cause of it? Let me ask you that. Can you imagine being the reason why it happened? Imagine that, because that's what we're getting at with you. You're the reason why it happened, Kamala.
For a loss that should not have occurred.
Right. That might be the smartest thing I've heard you say in weeks. It's a loss that should not have occurred. You're right about that. You're right.
So that is true. It is also true
that you suck at your job.
That if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure.
And you know what? Another thing about this Donald Trump killed the bill thing. Let me tell you how I know it's a lie. If Donald Trump actually got a bill killed, we would have heard about it the next day after it happened. He's public enemy number one. He's not allowed to do nothing. We would have heard about it. Trump is calling around trying to get a bill killed. And then the very people would have been on it. public enemy. I mean, public perception. The court of public opinion is a bad mug. So don't tell me he did something 10 months later. You a liar. And hold on, wait a minute. The bill was 10 months ago. It's been an immigration problem for 2 years. What was you doing for the other year and a half? And why are you lying?
That no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I'm so sorry for her loss.
Well, why did you do it?
Sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate.
You try to deflect us, huh? Oh, no. He's not the vice president. He's not the president either. We're talking about y'all's policies right now. We're talking about how your policies cost a life. And then you got done just saying that he doesn't want no solution. Oh, yes, he do. We're going to have a mass deportation of these fools. That's what's going to happen when Trump get in office. Bet you it is. Mass deportation. Bet it is. And y'all are already trying to paint a narrative. Oh, would you separate mothers from their kids? Y'all are going. The mama, the kid, the daddy, the dog. Go back to wherever you came. Don't care. Sorry.
Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer?
In all fairness, I told you I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
Well, you caused it.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before.
What?
Let's all be honest about that.
Wait a minute. He's the only person who I've ever heard literally come with a great solution. Like, hey, how about we just build a wall? And y'all said we don't have the money. So now what? Hold on. Y'all bucked at everything he tried to do with immigration. And then y'all reverse Uno carded it, and now we have a crisis. Y'all some idiots, man. Y'all straight up stupid.
In saying that this is a perfect immigration system, I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed.
Well,
we need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents.
And
they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett. Well, that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question. There were 90-plus executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talked to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
Because she was.
I think they're frustrated, and I get it.
At what? You know what? That's a good answer, but it's not a complete answer. What are they frustrated at? We're almost getting there. Let her land this plane. Maybe this might be the first time she lands a plane. They're frustrated at what, Com?
They want support.
And from who, Com?
That's what that border security bill would have done.
But Trump. Oh, my God. Donald Trump again. Oh, goodness. You are not serious with yourself. You're literally blaming Trump for your failures. Your failures. I've never seen anything like this in the history of presidential candidates. Ever. They are actually in office. Do you understand this would work? Like, this would be a good strategy if she was like running for office. And if she was doing this, if she wouldn't have been last place in the primary last time in 2019, this would be good. But this is bad. Oh my goodness.
These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
Why?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as vice president...
Why would you even say it 5 years ago? Why would that make any sense to you? Yo, foolish behind, you're the only person up here who's prosecuted transnational criminals, but now you want to give illegal immigrants driver's license and free health care? What is wrong with you? And this is what women supporting? Yeah, okay. All right.
Of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
We are very clear, and I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
So basically, you're admitting that your policies and what you believe in is so stupid that it's federally illegal, but you support it though. You wish you could do it, but it's immoral. That's what you're trying to say. So they won't let you do it because it's stupid. That's what you're trying to say in so many words. I mean, I don't know. I just cut through the fact.
Criminalizing border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that.
Yes, you have.
As president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
No, but let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal.
Because you're the only prosecutor. You act like that's something that like everybody can do, but you're the only one that did it. No, you're a prosecutor. So of course you're the only one that prosecuted. Like, what the hell? That's like going against a barber and him saying I'm the only one that faded people up. He's a barber. Like, what are you talking about? You're the only one that's had the state of California sue somebody for falsified evidence, and then they win the case because you falsified evidence to try to convict a black man. You're the only one that ever did that too. You're the only one that ever locked up a woman who had a doctor's note because her daughter was sick with a condition, and you locked them up because truancy. You're the only one who's ever did that too. So there's a lot of stuff you did as prosecutor that you don't want to own up to. Why you want to talk this black stuff? Well, people want to talk it for you because you can't talk it.
Organizations from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president. I take that work quite seriously.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So
this is your
are
tax
you still
dollars.
in support?
This is your tax dollars. And look, when we're talking about inmates, they're not even filtering through what these people have done to get there. Why y'all talking about ever so often something happens to a woman? Now, ever so often something can happen to a woman, then the guy can get locked up and then get a change. And then, hold on, wait. guys is getting changes, and then I think it happened in New Jersey. It was 5 women that got pregnant after people started getting changes. So if you ever know anything about the prison system, dudes that shoot little moves to do certain stuff. So it's dudes in there like, oh, I heard you could do that, and then you get transferred to the female. It's straight dudes that'll shoot that shot just to get to over there. Come on now, like, man, y'all crazy. Why are y'all? It's irritating. I have to be a part of y'all, and y'all keep talking about black. Shut up.
Of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender.
I will follow the law, and it's a law that Donald Trump.
What do you mean you'll follow the law? The law, y'all changed the laws. Barack and them, there's all type of laws. There's tampons in the men's bathroom. I don't even know what the laws are when it comes to all this stuff. So what you mean you will follow the law? He asked you a direct question. Is it going to be transgender prisoners getting sex changes supported by taxes? I don't know what follow the law mean. Answer the question. We don't know what that means. Follow what law? We don't even know the laws no more when it comes to that type of stuff.
Actually followed.
What law?
You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report.
If he was familiar with it, he wouldn't be asking the question. He seemed pretty smart to me. He seems pretty educated. He wouldn't be asking. He's trying to know.
That under Donald Trump,
he would have made a statement. He's been doing it the whole time. If he knew, he would have said. So he's asking you.
Administration, these surgeries were available to on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system.
How can we decide if that's a medical necessity or not? That a prisoner can change their sex? Especially when, dog, y'all get on my nerves, dog. Dudes get in there and get turned out, and then now they want to change their gender, and y'all letting it happen. You committed a crime, bitch. Ain't nobody giving their tax dollars for you. Man, I'm straight, dog.
I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing, stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump.
So they're the liberal ones. So they're the ones that's with all this stuff, this community stuff. It's Trump and them. So you mean their party has one of those people in the White House or some higher up job? It was them. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
They'd say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries happened during his
Well, you know what? You got to take responsible for what happened
presidency.
in your administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened.
Is she serious? Oh, my goodness.
In his presidency.
It's in black and white.
Would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment surgeries?
I will follow the law.
No, answer the question. Would you advocate for that?
I think Donald Trump would say he did.
You would have a say.
No, we're asking you.
President.
Like I said, I think it's he spent $20 million on those ads trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan.
Answer the question. Don't talk to me about him. Talk to me about you.
In this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people, whereas at $20 million on that ad, on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote.
Well, how do you know that? How much money is it? Where are these funds? See what I'm saying? Y'all allocating funds. We want the funds reallocated. So money is missing. So that's the biggest deal to the American public. Money is missing. So everywhere we got to get it from is the biggest issue when it come up at the time. So that is a big deal. We don't want any of our tax dollars going to that. I'm pretty sure that it's some liberal people that's okay with it. Maybe even got a trans family member or whatever the case. Matter of fact, I bet you it's some trans people who ain't even with that idea of with the prisoners. And I know that it's some black women that ain't. So you better stop acting like all of that. So what are we talking about? You're just running your mouth right now, and I don't like it.
Again, his policy was no different.
And then you're trying to blame it on Trump now.
Look at where we are, though.
They say
on plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing.
Because, look, see, and your plan working. See, I'm going to tell y'all, what she's doing right now is dangerous, and I'm going to tell you why. because we already know that Barack Obama and them is the ones that ushered in all these laws and different stuff for the people. Now, if Trump had his way, he'd have came in and got rid of all of it. And we already know that. But he wasn't able to do that because of all the people that like, oh, he hates this, that, hates the fifth and that. So if he came in and took all the laws away for people in the community, they'd have been like, he hates them. So now she's trying to say he kept laws like he supports it, but really it's like, yo, I don't. Now keep playing games and it's going to get cut. So she playing a dangerous game trying to act like he supports it because he don't. And they telling you right now, like, all right, we let it go the first time. Now we about to cut it. That's why they spent $20 million on that ad. They're going to get that money back when they get in office because they cutting them funds and reallocating. First, they're going to get their 20 off the top. Then they're going to reallocate them funds. So you better stop playing. Keep what you're doing, and you're going to see what's going to end up happening.
I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen.
No, you're not. You're offering a plan. Your main issue is making sure young parents don't exist. You got to go abort it. So don't talk about family now. Your main issue is getting rid of kids. Let's not do that.
The economy, as have been reviewed by 16 Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal, which have all studied our plans and have indicated my plans for our economy would strengthen our economy, his would make them weaker.
Why do you think more people?
You're lying, and then you're telling me you got 16 people opinion. We don't care about them people. Why didn't your policies stimulate it right now in the last 4 years? Why doesn't that happen? If you would have done it already, we believe what you're saying, but you're lying.
Inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as president of the United States.
Why do you think more people trust him than you?
It has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and
he just told you that people trust him more than you. And you talking about what the people believe. They believe that he is better for the economy than you. They believe that. So you keep talking about this divisiveness and all this shit. But I'm trying to tell you they don't like you, sis.
Type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward. And they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently than President Biden. Here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
And so that would be one change in terms of, but also I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
So,
you know what? And I'm about to tell y'all, and I said this before, I'm going to say it again. That is the worst possible answer that she could have ever given. And the best analogy that I could possibly give for you to understand why, it was for me to be listening to you talk about your jealous, controlling, narcissistic, abusive ex, and then me saying, I would not do anything different. Joe Biden has the lowest approval rating in generations. Do you hear me? And she said she wouldn't be any different. It's no different than me being your piece of shit ex. Joe Biden is a piece of shit ex, and she's saying she wouldn't do anything different. She better start dirty macking. Throw him under the bus. Find a way to get that question. Word salad that question. She liked to word salad everything else. She could have word saladed in a way where it didn't really throw him under the bus, but it made you think she had a different type of vision. Instead, her only thing is, I'm not Joe Biden. Duh. What you gonna do different? Nothing. And y'all falling for this foolishness. Man, all right. I see why people fall for the lies of men and all this stuff. I see why people take advantage of y'all. I get it. It makes sense, the stuff that y'all falling for right now.
You're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency.
Why not? How not? You said you wouldn't do anything different.
Like every new president that comes into office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. For example...
No, you do not.
I'm someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is
because she repeats the same stuff. And we're going to get to that when I play my next video.
New way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade
of Democrat. Oh, aha! You know you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up, right? You turning the page from the last decade. You guys, meaning the Democrats, have been in office 6 of those years. Yeah. And 12 of the last 14. So if you have spent 12 years in office as Democrats, and we're going to turn the page on a decade, maybe it's you guys' decade that we're turning the page on. You see where we're getting? And everybody mad at black men. No, we're turning the page on a decade, like you said. You messed up.
We have been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been
my God, not Donald Trump again. You need to be trying to make people like you instead of make people hate him. It's not helping you.
And implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong.
People are exhausted of Joe Biden, and people are exhausted of you, middle class home, and Joe Biden killed Donald Trump killed the bill, and all the stuff you say. We're sick of it all.
They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president.
And why won't you act like there's no accountability there? You're crashing and burning for not understanding that fact, Indian lady.
That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running
She did not try to deflect this to Donald Trump. Oh my goodness. This cannot be real. Like, this is a spoof. This is not a real interview. I got the wrong thing. This is AI. This is Saturday Night Live. She could not be giving this answer, yo. Yo, you really still trying to deflect to him? Oh goodness. She does not read the room well at all.
For office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
No, he doesn't. I don't either. And I would know if I knew. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade, people have become. But listen, over the last decade,
Democrats have been off for 6 years.
it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president. One, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted.
First of all, he's not, let me tell y'all a story. When Donald Trump first was president, I didn't want him to be president. I didn't think that he was going to be a good president. I'm going to tell y'all why. I thought he was dangerous. I thought his ego was going to start a war and all these different things. Guess what? The exact opposite happened. He was cool with Kim Jong. That was my main concern. I swear on everything. I could go back and pull up some posts. That was my main concern. He literally was cool with him. Cool with Putin. Wasn't no wars under him. The only war was the media creating all this stuff to make people war with each other in America. It was a civil war of media. So to say he's dangerous, that's an absolute lie. He's not. He's the opposite of that. They're dangerous. And I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Sometimes, in certain cases, it's not true for everybody, but some people it is. Your ego will make you a great leader. Being an egomaniac makes certain people great leaders. Some people, it destroys you. It destroys everything. You'll crumble everything. But certain people, right? It's like, because you want the credit, you make sure everything goes right. So it's like, nothing's going to fail on your watch because you want the credit for it succeeding. You know what I mean? But that's also good leadership, right? Right. And that's who he is. So he's an egomaniac. Absolutely. Absolutely. But he makes sure things go right around him too. And we've seen it happen. Like, y'all act like y'all weren't there during his presidency. You did good. The media did bad. It was everyone else that they tried to paint. Oh, racist America around Trump. The Trump supporters. Like, you made everybody else the problem while he was doing good. They're doing bad. Whatever.
Who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and
That's
engaging.
what you're doing right now. And I wish, you know what? And I peeped this recently. Donald Trump has been playing the good guy during this election. She attacks him every chance she gets. He really hasn't been roasting her ass. And I figured it out why. It's because he is back in the public eye after all this stuff. They already tried to pin all these crimes on him. Anybody that's keeping it real knows there was fake crimes and all that stuff, right? Whether you Democrat, whatever, hate Trump, you can hate Trump all you want, but you got to keep it real that they pin charges on him, right? So now he's back in the public eye. He kind of keeping it cool a little bit, and she's a woman, so it's like you can't really roast her like he can roast Biden, and so it's like they pulled the reins back on him up with his attacks. Like his real personal attacks. Like he can really roast her for real. But he don't do it. And it's like, at this point, it's kind of like he should do it at least once or twice. Like he throw little shots in there. It's just Trump. He's funny. But no, he needed to have at least a little 5-minute set on her real quick. Because she keeps doing this. stuff. Like, he need to get her in line. It's almost like you're taking his kindness for we to do this because, you know, getting back in the public eye. Like, gotta try to make people like him. Because, like I said, if people already don't hate him, they're not gonna hate him anyway. So you got to come back likable in a sense. So he's not gonna roast you, but you keep trying it. I wish he would. JD Vance is a nice guy. He's not gonna roast you. He got some word salad for you, like you got, that'll roast you. But he ain't just gonna do that either. He's respectful. He's a nice guy. But they need to just let Trump get on your ass one good time. He probably should do it right after the election, like just roast you up. Seriously, because you're disrespectful. You keep trying him, and he being nice to you. At this point, I want to hear him get you.
In personal grievances and it being about him.
And I would too. And now anybody, listen, I swear I hate y'all if y'all don't keep it real about this. You will have a personal grievance too if people did every single thing that they did to him, if it was you. Especially, everybody want to talk about black people. Come on now. Y'all really gonna sit back and let them trump up, no pun intended, some charges on a person and charge them with mega felonies over a piece of paper? You had files of the White House, and every piece of paper, it's a felony. So now you had a file folder. You had some, what was in the files? Did he take some money? What was in the files? They ain't never say that because it wasn't nothing. They try to loophole into, and so now you have 26 pieces of paper. That's 26 felonies. And y'all sitting here talking about that's a felony. Get out of here, man. Like, y'all not keeping it real enough for that to know, like, okay, that was some BS. Like, all right, I don't like him, but all right, come on now. Now y'all going too far. Y'all didn't even want to say y'all going too far. Y'all just want to say he's a felon. How could he? Same way they trumped up charges on your brother and your cousin them. So stop playing, man. I hate y'all in that regard. I don't like that y'all let that happen and never said nothing. Like, that should have been a problem for people. And then, so now y'all sitting here saying, if Trump could be a felon, y'all saying it the wrong way. Y'all saying it as an attack on him. Talking about, if Trump could be a felon, y'all need to take the felonies off the job applications. No, you're right about the fact they need to take the felonies off the job applications, but they need to take the felonies off the job applications because they just expose themselves about how much they really don't care. And how much it's just a flick of a button. And anybody that knows anything about the court system knows that. Like I said before in another video, that's how they operate. They charge you with 9 different things and tell you they'll drop them all if you plead to one of the things. They just made 9 felonies disappear to get you with 1. They don't care about felonies. Never did, never will.
The American people.
That, as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States. Why is that happening?
This is an election.
I want to answer that question. The answer to that question is because she doesn't read the room. And she's attached to what we now know has been the worst president. He's worse than Bush. Like, it's almost, how can you be this? And he's that. And she's attached to that. And people can see it, on top of the fact that I guess their strategy is just to ignore Candace until she goes away. It's other people who see her for what she is culturally. They're not feeling that. So she got those people voting like, oh, you lied about that? Oh, you a liar? Oh, we know your history and you really on that type of time? Oh, okay, now you disrespectful. Green's in the tub. So her personally has turned a lot of people off. On top of politically. So she keeps talking about Trump. It's a lot of people turned off by y'all's constant attacks because they see through it now. Like I just said with the felonies, them wasn't no damn felonies. Y'all played the game. See, I was the first person to ever say it. I said it years ago. I said it like 6-7 years ago, a long time ago. Matter of fact, I need to get on my phone and pull that post back up. I said they don't have a new playbook, and I said Donald Trump is the new black man. He's the newest black man. And what I meant was they don't have a new playbook on how they don't like you. So if they don't like a black dude, they're going to do all the stuff that they do with black men. And some of it is charging you with something. And that's what they did with him. They don't got another playbook. Character assassination, court system. And now they shooting at him, even though I believe personally rigged, false, whatever the case. But I'm just saying, that's another way they get you if you're black. So I don't want to hear this cultural stuff. Trump more black than her. He been in rap songs with Snoop and them, all type of stuff. She ain't been with none of that. Her blackest moment was in that picture with Montel Jordan when she was the side piece. And I never really talk about her personal. That's one thing I don't do. I never attack her personal history in terms of what the things that I've heard about, because they're alleged. Like, I ain't never heard nobody confirm none of that stuff about her. So I don't even really never mention it. But she got a history of thotting, allegedly. Like I said, we can keep it with her professional F-ups. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to go there, but because it's alleged. It's probably true, but I know at least the part where she said she had a affair with the married dude to get a spot. That probably, it's a little bit of proof of that one. So, but I ain't gonna say I don't care. But that's just, I'll save that for a later day when you lose and we really just want to pour it on. Then we'll hit you with all that stuff. But I don't really care about that for now. We just stick to politically why we don't like you. That ain't none of my business. You as a prosecutor in my business. You as a vice president in my business. All that stuff in my business. What you did in the bedroom, that ain't none of my business. So, yeah, that's the answer to the question. You're crazy as hell.
For President of the United States, it's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone. So are they misguided,
the 50%?
Well, if it's not supposed to be easy, why are you the nominee? Why didn't they get somebody better than you? It was easy for you. You didn't even have to compete for the spot. The last time you competed for the what's the name? You lost. You were last place. So it's not supposed to be easy for you to win a primary. You know that because you lost the last one. You would have lost this one. I can't wait till it comes out. All the people mad. They staying on cold right now. After this election, when you get smoked, a lot of people going to come out mad about the primary.
Listen,
are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And
I'm saying it about the people that's falling for your foolishness.
In fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle.
You're doing it right now. You have mentioned his name 96,000 times.
And diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within.
There is one.
Talking about the American people.
There is one.
Suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked.
Those aren't Americans.
Asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So
that's exactly what they did to him. That's exactly what they did to Martin Luther King Jr. too. While we're on the subject, I'm trying to tell y'all, they don't have another playbook. It's the same one. They weaponize the government against you when they don't like you. They don't got another playbook. What else do they got? Nothing. We already know all the plays.
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
There is one.
He was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness,
if she was really a black woman, she'd know that, but she don't, because she ain't. But that's neither here nor there.
Telling you that,
but it's there because I just put it there.
It was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. Repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest.
No.
He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy,
y'all are the owners. I'd rather be in a republic where it's freedom.
The President of the United States, in the United States of America,
it's a business. Don't talk to me like it's a country.
Be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at.
Why aren't y'all in jail? Y'all been criticizing him for 8 years. He didn't say nothing about no criticism. He's talking about the people who committed fraud and crimes weaponizing government. If you abuse your position to try to lock me up, I'm on your ass. And I ain't mad at him about that. Everybody will do the same thing if you was in that position. Let you be at your job right now. I want somebody that's been working at their job for a while now. You know, you've been at your job 7, 8 years or whatever the case may be, right? 10, 15, whatever, right? And then somebody at the job gets you fired from the job. Like, yo, I've been here 10 years, I get fired. Then you mess around, talk to HR or whatever the case, boom, 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 boom. And then won't he do it? He don't play about you. You mess around, get a promotion at the job, and now you the manager. Now, check it out. Come 6 months down the line, it come where you got to cut 4 people. You trying to tell me one of the people ain't gonna be the person that got you up out of there? It's gonna be with me. I'm admitting it. What's that, petty? What's that, vindictive? Oh, I'm both then. That's what's gonna be on the top of your papers. For real, because you out of there if I get the chance. So that's what I would do. So that's what Trump would do, and that's what a lot of y'all would do too. So don't what's the cliche? You better watch who you use the hands that you whatever, feet your hands, all that stuff. Because on the way back up, gonna be your ass you kiss. I don't know the cliche, but you know the cliche, damn it. Watch whose feet you. What is the cliche? I don't know it. I'll think of it.
You have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
I peeped it. Y'all know what just happened, right? I'm about to rewind it. She got them earrings on, first of all. And what she just did, Siri just thought I was talking to her. I ain't talking to you, I'm talking about Kamala. What she just did right then, Siri off. What she just did right there was hear something. She didn't know what to say, and she had for them to say what to say. Y'all didn't peep that? Oh, I peeped it. I'm really good at this reaction shit now. I be paying attention to everything. So watch this. Watch what she did.
And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to.
You hear that? You see that? That little, like, yo, what do I say? It was like a teleprompter glitch. I know y'all peeped it that time. It was like a little teleprompter glitch. And she had to look up to listen. Watch this part again.
And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat.
She's listening right now. That's why she paused and couldn't get her thought. And she's listening to that damn earpiece, pearl earrings. I know women for real. Like, I don't know who y'all know. There is no woman in the world that wears the same earrings all the time. That's a lot. Women don't do that. Women don't wear the same earrings. They don't do it. They have a multiples. They have a lot of them. Every time she does an interview, she has those. Why? Because it's a microphone. She's listening right now to what to say. I peeped her glitch right then. It's crazy that I peeped it because it was so obvious, though. I wonder if anybody else peeped that. It was an obvious glitch in her speech. I'm about to run it straight through.
To the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes.
I'm tired of them
for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump.
The significance
you
of that.
Call Donald Trump. He's misguided. You say now.
Let's not diminish the significance of he just told you that 71% of people say that the country is going in the wrong direction with you. And you can't convince us of anything except to hate Trump. What if we don't do that already in the last 7.5 years they've tried to make us? What if we still don't hate him after 7.5 years, 50 felonies, 105 essay attempts, xenophobe, racist? Y'all have called him every single thing you could possibly call him. What if we still don't hate him? How you gonna make us like you? What if making us hate him ain't the strategy, and the strategy is actually to make us like you? How you gonna do that? Charm me.
He's unstable.
Oh, God, he is? More insults?
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable?
He's not stable.
And you said he's the one throwing the insults. I told you. I want to see him unleash on you. A whole 5-minute set on you.
You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
She's listening right now. They're telling her what to say because she don't know how to throw this dude under the bus. She can't. She don't know how to say Joe Biden's a blundering idiot, and I would do everything different than this fool. Don't y'all see he's got the lowest approval rate ever? Hell no, I ain't doing nothing he did. I'm changing everything. I'm going rogue. Ha. He just got me in because I had to run under him. No, I'm doing everything different. You better throw him under the bus real quick. You want to get a vote? Better throw that nigga on the bus.
Joe Biden
is a old racist. He's the biggest white supremacist of this entire generation. There is not one white person who has done more to negatively affect black people than him. That is a fact. I will bring every single receipt possible if anybody try to argue that. He is a racist. That's what he is. The worst one of our generation. Y'all talk about Trump. He's 50,000 Donald Trumps.
I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room.
And
he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump is.
You saying Joe Biden's not on the ballot, but you done already said that you wouldn't do nothing different. So how we can't talk about him and you with him? This is the Biden-Harris presidency right now. And you won't want to... Okay. Trying to tell you this is your downfall. He has the lowest approval rating and you're with him.
George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand.
Donald Trump?
You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why.
No, they don't. They have a concern about you. You are the vice president right now, and they just showed you a poll that 71% of people are saying that the country's going in the wrong direction. The American public has a concern about that, not Donald Trump. Don't you see where the polls are? Don't you see? People are not against Trump like you think, clearly. They're against you. And for some reason, you're not coming to grips as to exactly why that is. But you're going to find out the hard way, I guess.
By the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit.
That is cap. And you know the people who did that? Y'all bullied a lot of people. After January 6th and all that stuff, it's a lot of people who had to keep their job. So they disassociated with Trump because it's like, if you associate with him, you're going to lose your job and all this stuff. So y'all kind of like Karen and canceled people out of fucking with him. So they like, all right, I'm going to keep my job. Fuck it. So no, that was bad. I ain't with that and all that stuff. But really, they fuck with him for real. You're going to see when he come back in presidency, y'all going to find out the people that really was lying to y'all about how they actually felt about him. So y'all try to bully people into how they feel. It's almost like, stuff with the community. It's a lot of people who don't say their views about how they feel about sexuality because they'll lose their job if they do. But they really not with it. Like I said before, I ain't never in my life heard LeBron James say the word Zaya Wade. That's his boy. Dwayne Wade is his boy. And I have never seen him with Zaya, say Zaya, talk about that subject. Why? Because LeBron James is a masculine man with a wife and kids. He not with that Zaya shit. He's just not. Why would he be with that? When he would have ever been with that? What part of his life would have ever got him with that? Oh, the Diddy parties? Fuck out of my face with that. But he don't say nothing because he'd get canceled. I'm not canceled. It's Brian. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. But okay, let's switch the topic. Tom Brady. I ain't never heard him speak on sexuality in my life. I ain't never heard Tom Brady say nothing about it. He ain't with it. But you got to like him. He's Tom, right? America's quarterback, Tom Brady, the greatest ever. But he ain't with that shit. I bet you he not. I'll bet my life on that. If Tom Brady had a gun, lie detector says, hey, Tom Brady, is you with transphobic and all that shit? Man, hell no. He'll get canceled if the truth was in him. So we don't want to hear this. Y'all get on my nerves. That's what it is. Y'all get on my nerves. Maybe it's a personal problem with me, but it's everybody because 71% of people said it was going down the wrong path. So it can't just be my nerves. It's 71% of the American public's nerves that y'all are on right now.
Dangerous and should never be president of the United States again.
He was. You shouldn't.
Again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was.
When did he say that? I swear to God, he didn't say that. I think she's lying. I'm fact checking her right now. I don't think Mike Pence said that. And I'm about to see right now on the spot. She lied on Mike Pence. I don't think he said it. And if he said it, I'm admit it. He ain't say that shit. I know he didn't say that shit. There's no way he said it. Look, my first thing, I just typed in Mike Pence on 2024 election. And the first thing that popped up is a fact check about Pence not supporting Harris. They talk about he supported her. Why would he do that dumb shit? That makes no fucking sense. So no, he didn't do that. See, look, he is one of the people that I was talking about with the January 6th shit. He had to like disassociate himself with January 6th. He never said nothing about her. Oh, he did. He did kind of criticize. He did throw a shot a little bit. He said he threw a little bit of a shot. A little bit. Why they? I would be mad if I heard that shit. Hold on, let me go back. As soon as I got to it, they cut it. He said, voters argue the failure to connect. As a border czar. No, he's hoeing her. As a border czar, she's seen the worst border crisis in American history, allowing 10 million immigrants to. All he said about Trump, look, this all he said negatively. And it ain't really negative, it's just the fucking truth. He said this is the first presidency. He said this is the first election where both presidents have a record in the White House, but they're running away from their records. He's right about that. Trump is running away from his record because it's a bullshit ass record, though. Some shit that they made up about him that was lies. She's running away from what she actually did in the White House. But he went on to go off about her. So he doesn't support her. He doesn't like her. He didn't say what she said. I knew that part. But I just wanted to see if he said what he said at all. But he did say Trump was running away from his record. But I would too if you put 30 felonies on me that I didn't do. I'd be running away from the motherfuckers too. So no, he didn't say what she said. She lying. And the proof is right here. She's lying.
Open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, two more things.
No, it ain't.
You were asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat that the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran.
Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that
them earrings again.
Iran never...
I've never met a woman that wears the same earrings, yo. Women don't do it. They just don't do it. I know that y'all don't. Like, y'all don't do it. It's stuff that people know that y'all do, that y'all all do it. Like, y'all all take boiling hot fucking showers, but y'all don't wear the same earrings. It's like y'all do not do it. So,
achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the #1 threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, in the several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself, and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself.
She listening to that thing. When her eyes go up and to the right, that's her listening. That's why she talking so slow. She listening to them ears.
Against attack, including from...
I have a feeling like, all right, look, this is going to be my sign. I could be wrong, but sooner, and I haven't seen this. Obviously, I haven't seen this shit. If within the next few seconds or so after she talks, she does something where she moves her hair or like gestures toward her ear, you're going to know that we right. Watch this. I feel like it's coming.
Iran and Iran's terrorist...
She got to be lit. Why is she talking so slow? She got to be listening to that ear. There's something weird going on. I feel weird listening to this. I've listened to hundreds of hours of stuff, and I feel weird right now. I know what it is. It's something that I'm listening to that's a repeat of what she's being told to say. I want some of them earrings. I mean, that sounds weird. No diddy. But I want some just, I don't know, I want the male version one.
Proxies in the region,
right?
And that is
proxies
and my commitment.
She got to finish her statement. They're talking to her. Shut up, Bruce.
To that is unyielding and unwavering.
Critics just say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions.
Let's go back to Donald Trump.
Let's go back to Donald Trump. Let's stay on you. Let's stay on you. In Iran, like every time something come up, you got to bring up him. He's not the vice president. He's not the president. And then 8 years before that, he wasn't. You're talking about a decade. In the last 16 years, y'all have been there 12 of the years. We're not going back to Donald Trump no more. We're talking about y'all. Shut the fuck up with the Trump.
Who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put Iran in check.
The estimates in billions.
It was during Donald Trump's administration that Iran regime that we had an American military base that was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches, not to mention how Donald Trump has treated and talked about America's military and military service people, calling them suckers and losers,
Hamas,
has diminished the significance.
We're talking over each other. I apologize.
Well, I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of the facts.
How can you have a conversation that's have a full assessment of the facts? You don't fully assess the facts. Go talk to Candace Owens. You know what? Never mind. If y'all going to ignore it, I'm just going to ignore it too.
Which includes, I think this interview...
like she's not doing what she's doing every day.
It was supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a decision
and there are critics
that they feel.
who look at what the administration did and say and think differently. Madam Vice President, they're rapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things.
That's all she said. She didn't say nothing about herself or present her case in any way. She just talked about him. So I would hope she got all her stuff off on him too, because every other question that was about brung him up. So I would hope you dissed him all you could. I don't know what makes them think new people are going to hate Trump that don't already. It's already people that hate him enough. Nobody's going to re-hate him or hate him like just pop up out the blue. Like, you know what? I've been hearing about this stuff for the last 7.5 years, but I'm going to finally start deciding to hate him. No, it's not going to happen.
There are a lot of things that people want to learn about you and your policies.
Thank you, see? I didn't even know he was really setting her up. I didn't even let him cook. I ain't let him cook. My bad. I done talked through the bars. He said, let me let him get his bars off. I didn't know what he was about to do to her. My bad. My bad. Go back. Finish your statement. Cook your food.
I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of the facts, which includes, I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a decision
and there are critics
that they feel.
Who look at what the administration did and say and think differently. Madam Vice President, they're rapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things.
There's more to say. I have much more to say.
There are a lot of things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and that's why
I invite everyone to go to KamalaHarris.com.
No,
and you will see that
we don't know how to read. You want to talk to us like we stupid? Okay, we don't know how to read, but we do know how to read people. So I shouldn't have to go to KamalaHarris.com to learn your policies when we were just sitting here talking to you about them, but you wanted to talk to us about Donald Trump. We already know about Donald Trump. We've been knowing about Donald Trump since Home Alone 1 was out. We've been knowing about Donald Trump. We heard about him in all type of different rap songs. People wanted to be the black Donald Trump, all these different things, until y'all got involved and came along. Now we supposed to hate him. I don't know. So we've been new about him, but we don't know about you, and you've been the vice president, and we still don't know about you. Talking about you still got more to say. Oh, my goodness.
I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them. And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do.
And that's why we invited you here to see where you were in 2019 and where you are now.
America's military and ensure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
Madam Vice President,
and
they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
Vice President, Madam Vice President, you suck. But you don't suck as bad as the people who we are about to review. Let's just pull the videos up. Let's just pull the video up. It goes without saying. It needs no introduction. So after the Barack Obama thing, some black women on TikTok wanted to double down on what he said. I don't know why they chose to do this, but we're going to review some of these videos. This might be my favorite one for multiple reasons. So let's just get to it.
You niggas, the best.
Now, hold on. Let's go back.
Kamala gave you niggas.
Kamala gave us. Now, look, I think it's funny because people be mad when people call her Kamala when it's really Kamala. But I think she has a made-up name anyway, like her grandmother and her great-grandmother and her great-grandfather. But that's neither here nor there. You could just go look on the internet, and Candace is exposing all that. But anyways, you calling her Kamala. I'm going to run with this one. Because that sounds a little bit like Scamala. So he's going to call her Kamala like you called her.
The best proposal I've ever heard in my motherfucking life. And when I mean niggas, I literally mean black men.
No, you mean ghetto people like you with bad mouths. But go off.
American man. Like I'm kind of jealous. Not even gonna hold you, cause if she would have did that for black women, I would have went on ahead and start putting out my notes and lists exactly what the fuck I was going to have, how I was going to apply. Every fucking start date when that shit would have dropped, just so I can be first in line to apply to every single loan, every single down payment that she put out for a motherfucker.
Well, do you smoke weed? You want me to pull the stuff up for you, sis? Because what you don't realize is all of the things on that list. First of all, the first thing said others. You got a crib? Because they're doing $1 million forgivable loans for black men and others. They're lowering taxes and groceries for black men and others. They're making housing affordable for black men. You got a crib? Do you need a crib? So everything on them list was for everybody. So everything you just said you could do. You could be the first person to sign up for them loans. Be one of the others to get it. It's the first thing on the list. They said others. Sign up for that. You smoke weed? You live in Texas. Y'all weed trash. So maybe when they legalize it on a federal level, y'all will get better smoke. If you don't smoke, maybe you should start. Fuck it. So, because that's what they wanted to put on the list. You got cryptocurrency. They're opening up access to cryptocurrency for black men. Maybe you could be in there with it. So everything on that list you could do. Wasn't nothing specific to black men on there.
You niggas saw what she said.
She ain't say nothing.
Spat at her.
She said, I'm not going to do nothing specifically for black people, until she found out black people ain't like that ass. Then they tried to repackage everything they already been saying, but just throw black men name in there and sprinkle it in like we stupid. We're not. Absolutely not. We are not.
Face and said, bitch, fuck you. We don't want that.
We sure did.
That shit. We just want you to get rid of child support. That's literally.
Now look, y'all got to excuse her for saying what she just said. And I'm going to tell y'all why. She lives in Texas. I didn't even understand it because I was like, yo, that is not black men's main issue. Hell no. But she lives in Texas. Texas has the worst child support laws that exist on this planet. When I first started my YouTube channel, one of the biggest, most watched videos I had was from divorce court, or support court, with a guy from Texas who got put on child support after he took the paternity test and found out that the kid wasn't his. Wait a minute. Let me repeat what I just said. He got put on child support after taking a paternity test and finding out the child wasn't his, and had to pay for 11, 12 years. So if I lived in Texas, I'd be on that with them. So excuse her for saying that. Maybe she's not lying. Maybe she's listened to a lot of Texas dudes saying, hey, we don't give a fuck about shit but child support. Because Texas is out there criminally doing people unjust with how they got laws and rules and set up shit. So what's she saying? Hey, she live in Texas. That's all I'm going to say to that.
I just cannot believe.
But it's also a lie at what she's saying. And you can go all over. Black men are they just think that list is just disrespectful. And anybody that read it knows that it wasn't anything specific to black men. We all said the same thing. Everybody who went through that list said the same thing. Men and women alike. Like, yo, this ain't even nothing different than what she was already saying. She just put black men in it. Everybody said that.
And this is why I fucking say I am tired. I am tired of black women, actual smart, intelligent, strong, independent black women falling to their knees to make things more comfortable and more suitable for the most ignorant, bow-legged, knock-kneaded motherfuckers in our community. Stop
each other. You can't be talking about men.
Stop appeasing to these niggas.
What makes you think that that's what's being done with your disrespectful ass and the ladies like you on this app and people like old girl on The View talking about we got to get through to these ridiculous, stupid black men who voted for Trump? How you going to get through to somebody calling them ridiculous and stupid? That's ridiculous and stupid to think that you can do that, right? You know that, right?
Yeah, everything that is coming out their motherfucking mouth should have
is a cuss word, is a MF-er.
Soap, dumped down their throat because
that is the most hypocritical thing you done said. You done said MFA 96 times in the first minute of this video, and then gonna say somebody needs some soap in their mouth. Girl, you need some self-reflection of your vocabulary.
nothing makes fucking plausible sense when it comes out of an ignorant black man's mouth. These niggas don't give a fuck.
She hasn't said anything about a policy, why they're wrong, just spewing hatred. She didn't even know why men don't like her or something, or you just wanted to talk some shit about black men. Go off, though.
What Kamala do? These niggas don't give a fuck what she come out and say because they hate black women.
If we hated black women, what does that have to do with her? What does that have to do with her, yo? Seriously, what does it have to do with her? Why do y'all think that y'all eat when y'all say men hate women? It's a projection of who y'all are. We don't get bullied out the dating market like y'all. Y'all are the ones that will give up. Oh, I'm celibate for 3 years because my ex. Oh, I'm going to date women now because men ain't shit. Men don't talk like that. So stop acting like men just hate y'all. No. Men don't hate y'all. They love y'all and they want something to change. As long as we expected to protect, we expected to pay the bills, we expected to do all the shit we expected to do, we got a list of demands and shit we won't change. And if you got a problem with that, you can just sit in your car on your videos and complain about it. But we are going to keep saying, what better change? What the fuck you talking
They
about?
hate the fact that a black woman skipped them to get where the fuck she at. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it.
So now people hate that a black woman skipped them to get where the fuck she at. Who's mad about that? Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? Skip them to get where she's at? Like, so people jealous of her. They really mad that it was them. It should be them. Huh? They want to be vice president. People just really mad because they not up in their spot. Black men really just want to be the president of the United States, huh? Niggas just mad they can't do that. And it was her, right? The fuck out of here. Like, hey, you want to know who mad? We gonna find out who mad for real, because there was never a Democratic primary. We gonna find out who really mad. I can't wait to see when they start turning on each other and mad, because it's got to be somebody like, yo, she's an idiot. I would have smoked her. But they stand on cold a little bit right now. After she gets smoked in this election, they gonna come out and say, like, yo, she never should have been the candidate anyway. Should have been me. So what is you talking about? You don't even know. You just hate shit.
Knowing for a fact that black women are behind a lot of things that basically benefits the black man. They hate it, but yet they refuse to get off their fucking ass and educate themselves, because no fucking way, no way that you think for a fucking second.
You have said MF 95,000 times during this video, and men are educated on the policies and everything that's going on, and that's why they're not voting for her.
That a black woman is going to literally strip away child support.
First of all, stop calling her a black woman. And I mean that. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Stop calling her a black woman. There's not a black bone in her whole entire body. Seriously, man, it's ridiculous how uninformed y'all are. Then you want to talk about somebody being undereducated and you calling her a black woman. You know how much information is out there on her history now? Ain't a black bone in her damn body. I'm going to talk to you in your language. Ain't a black bone in her motherfucking body.
Something that holds your motherfucking ass responsible.
Listen to her.
For laying down, doing the deed, and creating said child. And you...
Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop. We talking about being responsible for laying down and doing deeds and creating childs? No, we not doing that. We just aborting, remember? I thought that was what we was on. Where was the responsibility coming in at? There ain't no responsibility. We just aborting. That's what I thought we was on. What? Wait a minute. Your body is your choice. Why we got to be responsible? It's your choice, right? What's going on here? I don't know what you even saying. You don't know what you motherfucking saying.
Want that black woman to go in fucking office and strip away the
She's not black.
Only responsibility that keeps your ass in that child's life.
She live in Texas. I forgot. My bad. I wouldn't even said nothing about that last shit. She lives in Texas, so that child support shit, you don't just have to pay no attention to her. But I have another one of these type of videos from another black woman who more to say about black men. Ooh.
Just proved everything that we've been saying that I said. That Roland Martin interview just proved everything that we've been saying that I said in my past videos about black men when it comes to their lack of just comprehension and understanding their place in society.
That's a funny statement. Because you got women. She's about to say
having oppression Olympics with black women competing with us, looking at we're the enemy.
She said black men have lost their place in society, and then she confidently said that black men are competing with women. No, they're not. That's something that y'all made up on the internet to not actually compete. Because if you say that there's a competition with men and women, there's no stats. There's no winner or loser. That's how men compete. We play things where you lose. So how are we competing with y'all? Huh? Where? In the job market? Y'all already, a lot of y'all, some of y'all like to make up statistics, right? So instead of talking to black men about how y'all make more money than them, y'all should talk to white women and Chinese women to tell them how you manage to overcome the said gender gap that they say exists, even though they make more money than y'all. So how did y'all overcome this wage gap? I know how. You started making it up online like you made up a gender war. There is no gender war. We haven't lost our place. A lot of y'all have lost yours. Y'all are not under our protective covering. Y'all aren't. That's the reason why y'all will say the Malcolm X line of, and quote the Malcolm X part where he said Muslim women, he said women are the most unprotected, but you won't let it play just 5 more seconds for him to say Muslim men protect their women. And he was just saying men because it was just saying what he is. So y'all love to say how unprotected y'all are, but y'all never talk about who's covering you're under. But then you say, we have lost the plot. Y'all have lost the plot because y'all want to consider it some type of we're competing with y'all instead of being under our covering. Y'all have lost the plot. Even saying that it's a gender war. We don't say it. Y'all say it. It ain't one. I promise you it's not.
Is that you benefit from patriarchy. You do not have more of a struggle being a black man. You actually have a benefit over black women because you are a man.
And here's the thing about it, sis. There's no competition there in a sense of when it comes to life and death, there's also it's like we're the frontliners of it, and regardless. So we benefit from patriarchy as men, but see, y'all benefit from feminism as women. Like I said before, I seen a picture from 1970, and there was a women's liberation thing. It was all black women, and they were marching for women. When black people couldn't get the rights, y'all were able to slide in underneath women. Black men weren't able to do that with white men. Y'all are still doing it right now. You see what I'm saying? So what you're saying makes a little bit of sense. However, it's not a competition because the same benefits we get from it is also we get tore down from it. And it's the same with y'all. But yeah, I get what you're saying, just on a man, just being a man, period. Yes. But there's also benefits being a woman, period, that gets y'all in there. So let's not compete with who faces more racism, because that means you're ignoring the racism we face and how much of it We're always going to be the front line. When you talk about killing unarmed black people, yeah, there's say her name, Breonna Taylor's and this, that, there, but it's also the reason why she was so important. People talk about those cases so much because now we get to talk about a woman opposed to the 50 men that came before. You get what I'm trying to say? So we don't have to play that game with each other on who faces more racism. We both do. In different ways. But it's not, we don't benefit from it. So let's not do that. Because there's discrimination still. When you know it, and you know where it comes from and how. Let's not do that.
Black men do not understand patriarchy and how to use it to their advantage. They're too busy making it.
Come off the Democratic plantation with me and I'll show you. You're mad about what they're doing. Right now, what you're saying is hypocritical. You wouldn't be making this video if that was true.
Excuses and complaining. And the thing is, statistics and everything else shows that you benefit more as a black man than a black woman. But it doesn't matter how simply people break it down to them. Like,
I don't think that that's true. And listen. There's more benefits for women than men in terms of helping you, assisting you. You can get more assistance than a man can. That's a fact, especially a black one. You can get WIC and all these different housing. You can get certain other benefits that we can't get. So I don't know why you want to play this game, but then say we're competing with y'all. It's like you are competing with us right now. You're like competing, like you're comparing and like you're trying to compete right now.
he had to talk to them like they were 5 for them to understand that they absolutely benefit more than black women. They're just not using the fucking resources and tools given to them.
Come off the plantation. Come on off.
The fact that Magic Johnson and Obama and other like educated black men had to.
First of all, Magic Johnson, why did you put him in that class? Never mind.
Get on a platform and single y'all out on national television on these public platforms because y'all are out here making us look crazy.
No, we're not. That's what you don't understand. See, that's the most important thing you need to understand. They're trying to make you look crazy. We're not going for it. As black men, we're like, man, hell no. This is ridiculous. We ain't standing for this. We're not with this. So why do you think that Magic Johnson and Barack Obama, 2 celebrities who are rich as hell and disconnected from everything, represent the culture more than the men who you got access to? I'm sitting here watching your video right now, reacting to your shit that I got from your page. Barack Obama don't know you, wouldn't talk to you. Neither would Magic. He might shake your hand. But the people you have access to tell you how they feel, you said Barack gets to tell me. He don't get to tell me a damn thing. Not a thing. He doesn't tell me nothing. Like, I don't know why y'all understand that part. Y'all should get that.
The fact that they have to explain to you why.
They don't have to explain to me why Kamala's a why she was a bad politician, why she's a bad vice president, and why she's a bad person. They don't have to explain that to me. This is an information age. It's all out there. Why do y'all act like black men are just under a rock and not gathering any information? When it's men with millions of followers, subs, channels on YouTube and other places that have political channels, sis. Political channels, black men with political channels. And you sitting here like you got some information. They don't. I don't know what makes you think you are privy to something to call somebody dumb. What are you saying? I don't know.
A man that wants to give immunity to cops that are killing y'all.
They already have immunity. And where was y'all antennas these last 3 years or 4 years when y'all wanted to say it was a gender war? Y'all ain't been talking about the police then. But now you want to talk about the police? Come on now, don't be disingenuous. They already
and y'all
have
voting for him.
immunity.
It's crazy that they had to explain to y'all why you shouldn't want that.
Well, it's crazy that I had to explain to y'all what the hell a black job was. But then when y'all got the receipts, y'all seen how much money that the immigrants was getting, then y'all wanted to switch y'all tune up. It's crazy that people had to explain that. It's crazy that y'all don't see that it's millions and millions of people coming into this country and they're committing crimes, not just the cats and the dogs things, but SA and our word of women. You care about women, right? You say you did. So I don't understand why you act like just because you don't understand that you're making the right choice. No, people are making a formed decision, and it's the right one. You're making the wrong choice. But I can prove it not just by throwing insults at women, with the policies and the personalities of the people who are in office now.
People can break down to you why Trump is not a better option for you. But
No, you can't. Oh, no, you cannot. That's not even possible. Nobody can break down why Kamala is a great option at all. Better than anybody, much less Donald Trump. Nobody's done that. Nobody can do that. You definitely haven't. I hope that's not what you think you're doing, because that is not what you're doing. So I don't know what you thought you was doing, but that ain't it.
Your hate for black women, your self-hate is so strong.
First of all, where does black women come into this? Your hate for black women, where are y'all connecting black women into this at? What makes y'all think, why are y'all so narcissistic that y'all want to attach y'all name to everything? We don't hate black women. We've been watching this Owens break the internet. Why are y'all still calling this woman a black woman, but yet you saying people are uneducated? Educate yourself on her family history and then get back to me. Stop calling her that. What a hatred for black women. Where did that come from? Where are you connecting that dot at? Why would a hatred for black women have anything to do with not voting for her? Stop trying to hold an L for an Indian. We know her family history. We know her father's family history. We know his daddy, his granddaddy, his grandma, everybody. There's nobody black in that family. They were slave owners, Irish slave owners in the whitest part of Jamaica. Ain't nobody Jamaican there. The hell? So what are you talking about black women? I don't get y'all still trying that. Come off of that.
That you're willing to put a man in office that wants to make you destitute, that wants to literally...
We're destitute now, basically, because immigrant is the new black. They brought in all these millions and millions of people and gave them more benefits than we get. Whatever you do at your job, I don't know where you work or what you do, sis, but I guarantee you there's some people who are immigrants that get more money than you get at your job, and they didn't have to do nothing that you had to do for it. I don't know if you went to school, I don't know what you did, but they just came across the country, and some of them illegally, and they get a card with more money on it than you make working your ass off at your job.
Not have you exist or have any rights. You complain about police killing you, about how white people treat you in society, and you're giving them the fucking tools to continue to oppress you.
Joe Biden is the biggest white supremacist of this entire generation. Let's move on.
What more do y'all want?
We want Kamala and Joe Biden and the Democrats out of office, and we're going to get it. That's what more we want. And we want y'all to stop this foolishness. Since you asked, and I'm glad you asked. We want y'all to stop with these fake lies about it being some type of hatred of black women when people just hold people regularly accountable. Y'all call women pick-me's when they say it. Y'all act like it's only black men saying it. No, it's a bunch of people saying it. Y'all lie and say, oh, it's no, you don't see other races of people talking like this. The whatever podcast has like 20 million subs, and they talk like this every day. White guys, 50-50, all this different stuff. White men talk about it. So don't act like it's all of that. It's accountability of how people are. And in this scenario, it's actually her policies and her actions and who she is as a person, who she was as a prosecutor, who her parents weren't in terms of being black, all that stuff. They playing in your face, and they got you on this app saying this foolishness about hating black women for this Indian lady. That's all they do is perpetuate. That's why she came to the shade room. Y'all don't be seeing the play. I don't understand y'all. Then you want to call somebody uneducated when clearly it's people thinking circles around you. You lucky as people like me, because I'm gonna do the thinking for you while you're emotionally thinking. I'm gonna go ahead and lead you while you being emotional. That's what you need us to do as men. When y'all are in the state you're in making this video, we're gonna be logical. Y'all want to throw insults and do all this shit. I got this. I'm gonna make the decision for you. We leave in the plantation. Whether you want to go or not, we off that.
It's so disappointing.
It's so disappointing.
And it also shows that y'all are
so
so poorly educated. Y'all are literally slow.
Yet you want here talking about black women with an Indian lady, calling somebody slow. If that's the most remedial thing you did. So y'all gotta chill out, man. I don't know why y'all continue to do this. It's not leading to anything positive. So just cut it out. Just cut it out. Seriously, man. So this has been real, except the things that we've heard from Kamala and these ladies. The show itself has been real. Real.